are on to season 6
Already.
and doing something weird this year. Season, I don't know what to call it. I'm going to try and explain to these bozos a film, and I'm not going to do it well.
You're going to mansplain us the film?
I'm not going to mansplain it. Tim's a man.
Yeah.
I just want to say it.
Oh, okay. Let me explain to you what mansplaining is. Anyways, so this film is
something.
this film's about a kid who has a bunch of imaginary friends, and he'll only talk to Bruce Willis about it.
Oh my God.
Is okay. So Bruce Willis definitely basically tells you what the film is. but
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Are they imaginary friends?
they're imaginary friends.
Who's to say?
Who's to say, man? It's the
That's
twist.
true. 'Cause only he can see them, right?
Yeah.
This is that movie.
It's the sequel to the Fifth
13
Sense.
Ghosts.
It's the sequel to the Fifth Sense.
The fifth sense, the sense
Smell.
of smell.
Smells
13
crime.
Ghosts.
Is 13 Ghosts a
seen that
movie?
one,
You just
no.
keep saying that.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Oh,
Okay.
you would not like it, Sam.
Now, you all have heard of the 5th season of Flipper Flicks. Coming this fall, autumn, or whatever you want to call it, is the 6th season of Flipper Flicks.
Does it see dead people?
I mean, it could.
That's
There
true.
might be some dead movies in here.
I mean, I was gonna say people have long passed in some of these movies.
Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
I mean, I know I put a classic on the board this season, so
There you go.
somebody's probably
True.
not alive from that.
Oh my God.
All right. So I'm Adam, and I really am going to pass hand this off real quick to somebody else real quick. Bye.
Oh, okay. I'm Tim. Yeah.
I'm Sam.
And it's very important they know who we are.
I was just going to stare Tim down until he responded.
Yeah, but like your head is like only half
Only
in the
half off.
shot.
So he's like, who even
She's
knows
like
if she's
hiding
there?
from you.
Oh yeah.
In the Mushroom
In
Kingdom.
the background too.
Not Nintendo's, but our Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Looks like
being
claymation.
said, we watched for the season opener of the 6th season of Flipper Fix. We watched The 6th Sense, the sequel to The
Wow.
5th Sense. This movie, if you've not seen it, is by M. Night Shyamalan, Tim's favorite director.
Yeah.
I say that because
Hard to say
Tim's-
otherwise.
Yeah, it's really hard to
It's really hard to yeah.
prove otherwise that this is not
Right.
Tim's favorite director. But if you've not seen this, a quick synopsis is Malcolm Crowe, a child psychologist, starts treating a young boy, Cole, who encounters dead people and convinces him to help. In turn, Cole helps Malcolm reconcile with his estranged wife.
Oh, I guess he does,
Oh,
doesn't he?
It didn't give away the movie, which is
But it
good
gave away the
because-
movie at the same time.
I mean, it does, but it doesn't because it's like
Yeah, I know.
the movie when it came out. I'm just thinking back then, like when it came out, this
99.
was such a phenomenon.
Yeah.
right? This is what put him on the map. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
was his big debut,
6
and
Oscar
I don't know.
nominations.
right? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, look at that.
I didn't know that.
And
Didn't win a single one.
no, they didn't, but that's all right. But I don't know a person to this day that has ever disliked this movie.
For me, it was the first twist, like the first big twist that I knew about. Like, I knew that. I think
Right,
first
yeah, I get
first
what you're
twist that
saying
I
now,
knew
yeah.
like going into the movie. The other film I would say that I'm pretty sure I saw this before Fight Club.
I know what you're gonna say. Oh, okay.
What were you
Okay.
gonna think I said?
Shutter
Okay.
Island, but then I was like,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
That came out in 2009,
Yeah.
2010
Yeah.
ish.
But that was another phenomenon that people were like, holy shit,
Right.
did you see that
Dude.
movie?
Yeah, I remember going to see Shutter Island instead of Valentine's Day. Yeah,
Yeah.
very similar films, you know.
Definitely the same vibe.
Ashton
Very,
Kutcher in whatever movie with like 30 people versus Shutter Island, a Scorsese film that I didn't know who he was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very different vibes. And then Sam watched it and she's like, this is trash.
Yeah.
And then Sam rewatches it and she's like, okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I remember being this is off topic, but whatever, you brought it up. I remember being very annoyed with all of the cinematography choices and like the lighting choices, which were very deliberate and on purpose. So like on rewatch, you're like, okay, like I get it. They're going for a
Right.
vibe. but I just remember being like, it was too bright and it was so annoying. And that was like
It
before.
was very
yeah.
hardcore intentional.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Everything was very, very intentionally.
And I still go around whenever Sam's like, it rains here. I'm like, baby, why are you all wet? And I think Sam, she just face palms or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But-
The Sixth Sense.
Yes, back to The Sixth Sense. I agree with you, Tim. I remember when everybody had seen this and it was like, holy shit, did you see that movie? And like, I don't know, it just felt like it was very much...
5 or 6 year old Sam was saying this, by the way.
I mean,
Holy
my-
shit. Yeah.
Your best friend at the time.
Yeah, my friend was. She like got everybody together at her house so we could watch The Sixth Sense. So
I
like,
remember you telling me this.
that was the thing. And she watched it so many times. And it's just funny now because watching it a second time, like it's kind of like different because like you know what's
Right.
gonna happen.
I'm sitting there trying to
Yeah.
watch for Bruce Willis's character to like try and interact with people.
Yeah,
Like I'm trying to see them not notice him.
right. And like,
Right. Yeah. You look for those goofy little things because I remember looking up stuff on it and because I was like, that was wild.
yeah,
And then looking up like on things that you might have missed in the movie. And then looking for those specifically this time, even though I've watched it before and looked before and stuff, but like anything that was red was a
Yeah.
sign,
Yeah.
you know, shit like that. So it's just like, or like when he's sitting there and there's another person in the room, there's never direct eye contact. There's never responses, even though it seems like, you know, stuff like that you might not have caught the first time. Like,
Exactly.
and he kind of goes over that at the end when it's like, oh shit, it was Bruce Willis the whole time, right?
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
So the red thing, I was looking for that because Sam brought it up, and they used it a few times, but I'm glad they didn't like abuse it.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like-
it was just kind of there sometimes, and then
Yeah.
other times it was like, oh, okay, that's red. You know, there's a reason that's red. But
In Shyamalan, he apparently uses red a lot in his films, like to
Oh.
signify shit. Like
he does.
if
Yeah,
you watch like The Village, those fuckers are all in
Village
red.
is the other
Oh,
one that's
yeah.
really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that being big around the same-ish time because it was basically like we were having a Shyamalan marathon.
The Village came out in like 05, 06 ish. I remember when Unbreakable comes out. So he does The Sixth Sense, which has Bruce Willis get shot and die immediately, and then goes to Bruce Willis being unkillable.
Right.
He's got to like make it better for him.
I know.
Yeah,
Now, Split is my favorite film of Shyamalan.
it's so good.
It's very good.
That is so good. I can't believe it took so long for that series to finally get through, but like he had a bunch of roadblocks for it and shit. But man, yeah. That's one of his top ones for me.
James McAvoy honestly
Dude.
deserves so many awards for that.
Destroys. He's fucking good.
But Bruce Willis, as a child psychologist,
Yes.
does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
I agree.
It-
Much better than Mark Wahlberg as a scientist.
Yeah.
Much better than Chris Pratt as a scientist. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Bruce Willis, I could see him
Bruce
as a
could do
psych.
it. He
It's-
pulled it off.
Especially at this time, like it'd be different
Mhm.
now if it was Bruce Willis as a child psychologist.
but-
I don't know
Yeah.
why, but like in his younger years, you're like, all right, I buy it. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
he was a sitcom specialist at first.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Haley Joel Osment, he's so tiny and cute. He's
Okay,
so young.
can we like just clone the child? Because that is the best child acting.
Yeah,
Seriously, yeah, he's phenomenal.
He
Like-
does so good.
He kills it.
Because I mean, Tim, you and I bitch about the '90s all the time.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
the child acting in the '90s is so atrocious.
It's not great.
And then there's Haley fucking Joel Osment.
That's why he had so many movies when he was a child. Okay,
Yeah.
like he knew
And then
what
he
he had.
disappeared,
Uh-huh.
Yep.
and now he's back.
And he's
No,
in
he's
What We
back
Do in
doing
the
stuff.
Shadows.
He's back
Yeah.
as he's Topher.
Shows, The Boys.
He's in
Oh, I forgot he was in The Boys.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silicon Valley. Yeah,
But The Boys, he's Mesmer. But what is Mesmer's ability?
he can read your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
I
but
was
he has
hoping.
to touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wanted. I was hoping. I knew you would know, Tim, because I know you've watched that
Yeah.
show so much. Because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna look it up. I'm like, nah, Tim knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping it dealt with something with like seeing dead
Seeing
people.
dead people, that would be hilarious.
It's kind of in the same realm,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's,
Similar.
It almost
because that's
satires
what
his life,
it was
right?
in it, right? Because I'm pretty sure he was like a detective, you know, like
Yeah, he was a
they
child
used him as a
detective.
detective. So he, yeah, and because he could find dead people. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, and he was like a child star in the show.
exactly, yeah.
It almost satires his own life, and
It really kind of does.
and he lives it up. Like he seems
Right,
completely
like, why
fine with
not?
it.
Mhm.
Well, why not? He got his money.
Now-
Still getting his money.
Yeah, he still is. Now there is a line in this movie that I have never seen somebody use an uncircumcised penis as an insult.
Yeah.
Shut up, cheese dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very specific. I was like, oh my God.
I was like, not expecting that, man.
So harsh.
This Philly, they're brutal in Philly, man.
Brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I just
Brutal.
thought, I was like, cheese dick, the fuck? Like, that's literally like, yeah.
Something you were not expecting to hear in this movie.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
Well, that, and I just felt like the children are so harsh. Like at one point,
Dude.
he's doing that whole like penny trick, and he's like, "That's stupid." I'm like, "Oh
Like,
my
the kids just straight up
God!"
like that's stupid.
And like the lead asshole kid, he ends up being an asshole later. He convinces Sam O'Neill to go back to Jurassic Park and Isla Nublar in Jurassic Park 3. Fucking asshole kid, man. Can't get out of it.
He's just stuck being an asshole.
What's
Oh,
funny is I
that's great.
recognized the little kid, so I looked him up and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, I recognize too. But I
He's-
couldn't. Yeah, I haven't looked to see who he was because
Yeah, it's
I was looking up other cast members just now. But
Tony
But yeah.
Collette, the mom.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I
She-
haven't seen her in a minute. I feel like.
She's in so many random things. Like
Yeah.
in our first season, she was like a side character in like 3 of our movies.
Mm-hmm.
But she did a
Hmm.
TV show that you liked, right?
Yeah, the United States of Terra.
Yeah. Which, Tim, if you like split personalities,
Yeah, she did
Yeah,
a good job.
that's a
in that.
good
Yeah.
show for you. But
Yeah. I also feel like it's just a burden for this poor little kid to have to
Dude.
like
Seriously,
be
I mean,
like,
just
oh,
thinking
by
about
the
that,
way,
yeah.
my mom's like killing me. Can you go deliver that message to my dad? Like, how old is this kid? He is very
Oh, you're
young
talking
to
about
be
Misha
doing
Barton?
this shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that was depressing as shit.
Yeah.
And then like you overhear during the funeral session, like, oh yeah, my mommy. Not my mommy. Oh yeah, I heard that the other daughter's getting sick now too.
They're
It's like,
getting sick. Yeah.
are you
Mhm.
kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought at first that the other daughter was the little girl in Signs.
Oh.
I never thought this before. I never caught it before, but when she's on the swing set, because you don't really see her face until like the picture, I guess. And now I'm just remembering the picture, but I don't remember what she looked like. She says something as they're walking by, and I swear it's the same girl's voice. And I was
Well,
like,
how young was
I don't
was it? A
see
little
her. I
kid
don't-
in Signs? Because
she
that's
was
like
she was no in Signs. I don't know how old she was, but 2002.
oh, it's only
So I
3
got- I
years.
got-
It's only 3 years. I thought
Yeah,
Signs was
but I mean,
04.
like, if that's her second to last thing. The other thing before that is some commercial she was in 1999. So she would have been credited for this
yeah, she was.
in
Yeah.
1999 if she, So it's
So not
this
her,
chick,
not
I know,
her.
but yeah, who was born in 96.
Oh.
Wow, that kid was in a commercial at 3. Okay,
It happens more than we think.
I mean, she would have been about that age in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one girl, like the lady, the mom was talking to the host of the birthday party, being like, yeah, the last time he's been to a party and it was at Chuck E. Cheese, and she's like, what's
Oh
Chuck
yeah,
E.
what the
Cheese?
fuck?
Yeah.
What's Chuck E.
Bitch, are you
Kid.
thinking it's
You
Charles
know a
Edgar?
kid. You know what Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese is.
Yeah, you know Charles Edgar Cheesington the Third
Yeah.
or Risky Rat's Pizza.
Yeah.
Risky Rat's Pizza.
Risky Rat's Pizza, do whatever you want.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here like there were 2 Chuck E. Cheese jokes in the last like year or two with Sonny and Ted Lasso, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
such a weird time to be in.
So you could not claim that you don't know what Chuck E. Cheese is
Bitch.
nowadays.
Yeah, there's
like,
no yeah.
Take a lap.
it's in
Yeah,
our
take a look.
media.
Seriously.
I think the other thing that's so like sticks out to me on a rewatch that I haven't watched it in a while, like basically last time I watched it was when I was little, right? Like I haven't watched
Yeah.
this in a while.
Mhm.
But It's the little details in it that get me. Like, we already talked about the red, but then there's a point where, like, he was talking to, like, the burnt lady in the theater, and then his teacher's telling him, like, oh, yeah, this half of the theater, like, burnt down at one point, and he's like, yeah, I know. And it's, like, that little stuff that just, like, gets me. Like,
It's like,
that's
oh,
what's
shit,
so
yeah.
good about it.
Right? Well, and it's also, like, another one of the detail thing. I'm pretty sure Bruce Willis's outfits are a hint, too,
Oh,
because
they?
really?
he only wears, like, 3 outfits,
okay.
right? He wears the one with the blue shirt, the one he's killed in,
Mm-hmm.
and then he wears the suit, and then he wears the sweats.
Oh.
Yeah.
And if you look, they're I believe they're specifically in situations that they like in the house. He's wearing the sweats or the blue shirt, and you know when he's out and about, he's in a suit, stuff like that.
Oh.
There's so much little shit in this, but it's like
Yeah.
fuck.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Very well planned
Yeah.
out.
He's like the real Slumdog Millionaire. Also, stuttering Stanley is just being. Would ignorant be the right term for? Tell me if I'm using it right. Ignorant about not assuming back in the 1700s they hung people at the fucking courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
They 100% would have. I
Yeah.
understand being like trying to tone it down because you
Right.
know they're like 5-year-olds.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can tell he's like not trying to tone it down. Like
He's
he
just,
just
like-
legitimately
Oh,
doesn't
yeah, he
believe
just-
that.
He's matter of fact
like, no,
about
it's not a
there's
thing.
not possible.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
sure.
So for a second, I thought that guy was going to be a ghost,
Oh.
and that there was like nobody. Like the kids started looking at him and stuff, and just for a second, I was like, "Oh, what if that guy's a ghost?" And then obviously he's not. But
How did he find out
that
it
would
was
have been
stuttering Stanley?
interesting. Probably from a ghost.
I assume it was from a ghost, but like we never saw
Yeah.
it, so it's just like we just
Right,
know.
exactly. Yeah.
Stuttering Stanley, stuttering
Oh,
Stanley.
God. Yeah.
Also, that play they did was better than Cats. Shots at cats just randomly.
Oh,
This
Fucking
early
loved
we're shooting at cats.
Okay, I've seen the
Goody.
Broadway Cats, and
This
yeah,
was before the butthole cut. Like
it was before the butthole cut. Release it, please, Warner Brothers. You need the money.
Oh my god.
How'd you like the kid saying like that? There's gonna be a twist. There has to be a good twist in the story,
Right.
For it to
yeah,
be a
he
good
did say
story.
that too. Yeah.
Mm.
and I was like, ha.
Yeah.
Aha.
Which is pretty funny.
I don't know.
I mean, they can't just be talking in the bedtime story. There's got to be shit going on.
Right. There's got to be something happening.
That only seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I meant to bring this up because we were talking about the funeral that Sam had brought up, the depressing funeral child, or Tim did.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how little Cole here walked by himself because there's no ghost to most people.
Yep.
He walked to a funeral by himself, and then
No.
he just walked.
No one says anything to him.
Yeah. Like that's like the one like
No one
detail.
acknowledges him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this kid? Like.
Yeah.
Where's his parent? We've never seen him before.
And
Right.
he's so little. Like he's not
He's so tiny.
he's
Yeah.
not close to being somebody that you would just not question wandering
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
the bus alone or through the streets alone.
Seriously.
Poor little fella.
But I think that also is just part of how they trick you, right? Like
Yeah,
it's part of the
definitely.
whole trick because, you know.
If they were stopping him, you'd know the jig is up earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then as far as like Bruce Willis goes as Malcolm, do we think that after he died, he reappears at the quote unquote next fall where we see that little title screen for a second? Or do we think, are we under the impression for the last like year's time, his wife has been not paying attention to him? Like at what point does the ghost come back to life?
Well, I think so. How I took it is how it's cut. It's like he's present for certain things.
Yeah.
So he's not there like every day of the year or whatever.
agree
but
with
he's
that.
present for different events. So it like spread out over a year. He might only have appeared 5, 6, 7 times. Right. That's how I took it. Until he's like talking to the kid, and then he's appearing every day because
Yep.
it's a thing that he's like attached to, and it's what he's supposed to do. That's how I take it. The ghost just
I would
appear.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No comment.
Ditto.
Which-
No
Ditto.
comment.
Okay, Okay.
I wanted more of this one. I kind of wish they went deeper into. Well, no, it doesn't make sense that way. But I was gonna say, like in the beginning, he's in the kitchen. Mom walks out, comes back. All the drawers and stuff are open. No sound.
Yeah.
I
It's
got
like,
a good crack out of
you know,
that.
you got a good poltergeist kind of thing. And then he gets thrown in the thing by the bullies, and then he gets cut. You know, you assume
Mhm.
it's the guy that's in the ghost that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, how much can they actually do to him, and how much? Because he does express concern at one point with the, you know, what if they just want to hurt people kind of thing,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, he might run into that eventually, and he just like
Yeah.
tried to help them, and they're trying to hurt him. You know,
Yeah.
it's just an interesting thing that I kind of wanted them to dig more on, but
Tim wants the TV series.
Yeah.
All right,
kinda, yeah.
let's go back in time. Get Haley Joel Osment. Sign him on. He doesn't know any better. He's a child.
Yeah, they could not do it now. There's no way.
No, what
it would just slander the whole thing.
they just jump forward like they do these days, where they're like, we want
Oh,
the
yeah.
same people, and we'll just say that this little kid has still been dealing with it, and he's like
Yeah, he's
30
all
or
grown
however
up.
old Haley Joel Osment is now.
Yeah.
Are you
And we'll
just
just pick
shitting
up his
on,
life now.
Are you just shitting on the Shining sequel over
Yeah,
here?
exactly. Even though I did enjoy it, like that is basically what they did.
Yeah,
So
this
Right.
kid shines.
they
Let's
could
say
make
that.
it work. I do think that this is very similar to The Shining. I was telling Adam this, but like,
You
it's
were?
funny because when this came out, like, I felt like it was scary. Like it was at the time, it was
Right,
scary,
it's
but now,
Creepy and yeah.
yeah, horror has divulged into something completely different now, and it's like just way scarier and like gorier,
Right.
and it's just like a whole other thing. And so movies like this and The Shining that were at the time scary are no longer scary. Like I guess they're thrillers, but like they're not really even thrilling. You know what I mean? Like there's just this
Yeah.
weird category of old horror movies that are no longer scary.
Yeah, I mean, The Omen's that way too. I rewatched the
is.
original Omen from 1975. It just was a drama to me.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of how this is too.
Yeah,
It's
like-
kinda what this is,
I would,
drama.
yeah, drama with a little edge on it,
Yeah, like the
a
music.
thrilling edge, a thrilling edge.
Yeah,
I'll agree with
It's
that.
making you tense in certain spots.
Right.
That being said, though, we watched The Shining in a tiny little theater, and
Oh my god.
Yeah.
this lady screamed,
Lost her shit.
lost her shit during the scene where the dude gets the axe in his chest.
Yeah.
So maybe I should just say that like it's not scary for everyone anymore.
Yeah.
Like-
Right. And that's why a lot of the time I like to say, because when it's not a good horror movie and it's labeled as a horror movie, it's a comedy. Like,
Tim gets grumpy.
and that's how I don't get grumpy, but like I used to, because I like good horror movies. So I like go on the search for them sometimes. And it's like when I find one that I'm watching and I'm like partially into it, kind of gets me hooked, and then it gets ruined, or you know, stuff like that. It used to make me mad, but now it's like they're either good or they're like a drama or a thriller, which those are kind of my favorites. And now I generalize these worse ones as comedies. So I try to view it as like, if it's not that great, it's just a different form of comedy, and it actually is more enjoyable
I could
than
see
getting
that,
upset.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because then you can watch something that's supposed to be like, ooh, spooky, and it's just kind of, it just makes you laugh because you're just like,
Well, I mean, I'll go back to The Omen. There's a scene they're doing one of those drive-through zoos, and
Yeah.
all of the
Yep.
monkeys or chimpanzees or whatever they do jump on the car and just start slamming on it.
yeah,
I
that's
just
like,
started
yeah.
cracking up during that scene. My dad was telling me that scared him shitless as a child.
Oh man.
Mind you, he was raised to where The Omen would be scarier to him.
Yeah.
Right.
But this
Man.
this movie for me is not scary, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
But psych horrors are where it's at these days. Am I right?
Yes. I love it.
Definitely.
Except you get too scared from them, Sam, and then
Yeah. But hey, I still enjoy
Midsommar.
it while it's happening.
yeah, I know.
I don't enjoy the sleepless nights afterwards.
Mandy,
Yeah.
I will say though, like everything did hold up on this.
Oh,
Like it's
yeah.
not like it looks cheesily old or anything. Like the only thing that I felt was super dated was like the bathrooms with like the blue toilets. and, like,
yeah, those are
stuff
very
like that.
century locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
But
being
everything
said, our
else was
parents did just
fine.
get
Those
rid
are
of theirs.
very stuck in their time.
Yeah.
But even like how it's filmed could be passed off as like intentionally filmed this way, which
Yeah.
it was back then. But like nowadays, it's just like, oh, it looks like an older film from pre-2000. It's like, well, it kind of works really well for
Yeah.
it still.
Yeah.
And with the blue toilet, I kind of give him a pass on that, regardless of it, because she is clearly working two jobs, doesn't have the money, to have anything nice, and those blue
Right.
toilets are a mark of the 1950s.
True.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it seems like he probably did it on purpose. Also, a blue toilet really stands out.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Also, can some ghosts come up and haunt my place? It's getting too hot down here in South Carolina.
Free AC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Get you a Quaji board.
Ouija?
Oh, man.
Now, so in the very first showings of this, like, you know how like they do the pre-shows to folks
Yeah.
to get opinions? They do a close-up of Bruce Willis's face, and a lot of people caught on that when he says, I see dead people, Bruce Willis's face, oh, maybe he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they cut that scene
I think it was smart to cut it.
Yeah, that was smart to cut it.
because too many people were catching on.
That
Right.
and like so I remember this being I mean, we already talked about this, but this was like such a wow factor after the first time you saw it. And like now going back, like it does lose a little bit of its luster because you kind of already know what happened. You know what I mean?
Sure,
So like
yeah.
if you had too many heavy-handed like foreshadowing that he was dead, I think it
Yeah.
would make the rewatchability less so. Like now you can still
Right.
pick the finer details like Tim was talking about
Mhm.
without it being over the top like, yeah, you can tell he's dead
Right.
Yeah.
You wanna
immediately.
see-
Yeah.
I think it's because it's actually done well. So
Exactly.
well. Like the twist is that it's like you want to find the little things in there to recognize them to be like, yes, okay, I got it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like that's what to me it's like the whole revealed thing is kind of like a superhero scene. It's like this build up watching this movie, you know what's going to happen, but it's like it just gets you. You're just like, I remember how I felt when I first saw this, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're admiring that feeling essentially.
How many times have you, both of you seen this? This is only my second.
I feel like this is only my
Good
second.
question. I've seen it a lot.
I
Okay, so
believe
Tim's
it.
seen it like
Back
80.
in the day, I haven't watched it in a long time
Okay.
because there was actually parts that I was like, oh, I don't remember this.
Yeah, I didn't remember a lot of it too.
Yeah, there's actually good chunks of it that I was like, oh shit, okay. But I think back when it came out, I watched it a fair number of times. Yeah,
Nice.
just
Nice.
because I was looking for all those little
Yeah.
things. and stuff.
That's how my friend was.
Yeah.
So the critics also seem to like this film.
Shocking.
86% on the critics from
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes. The audience gave it a 90% IMDb with an 8.2 out of 10, and Googlies with an 89%. So all relatively high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. IMDb, I thought it was going to be higher, and like, it's one of the few films on Amazon, for instance, that has full 5 stars.
Damn.
Amazon
Like,
I
it's
lost
very
all
rare.
faith in with, I think, Prisoners of the Ghostland.
Yeah, but like, that's pretty rare.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
It's about as rare as a 1 star, which makes sense. But like, or like no stars, I guess. But like, I don't think you can get no stars. I don't
A
know.
half a star.
You
Yeah.
always have at least half a star.
I don't think now I gotta go look and see if there are any movies that are literally just like a 1 or a half. Or
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
sure there are.
There
So
have to be.
getting into our flipping on and flipping off of this season, I
Yeah.
tallied all of the datas that existed, and
Crunched all the numbers.
all of the numbers were crunched. And
His favorite hobby.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's my job. So out of 16 episodes this season, each of us only have a limited amount that we're allowed to flip on, which means if we flip something on and then we're like, oh shoot, I hit my max already. You got to move one down and go back and flip
Yeah.
it off. So I'm allowed to flip on 11. Sam's at 9 and Tim's at 10. Because apparently I'm the friendliest critic of the three of us.
I'm the
Um,
more moderate, essentially.
Tim is the
Yeah.
moderate. Sam is
I feel
the.
like I hate a lot more things than you guys when it comes to
Yeah.
movies, so I don't understand.
You're the most polarized, I would say,
yeah,
out of us.
true. That makes
So
sense.
you're either on one end, man. You don't
Yeah.
believe it. You're opposite of a bell curve. While I'm on the bell curve, and I'm like, oh, I'll just flip it on. The fence is there for a reason, so Adam can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this season, this one, we're gonna count in our numbers, and I have flipped it on, so currently it is ranked 1.
Nice.
Sam's up next.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip it on too.
Okay.
It still holds up in my opinion. I enjoyed rewatching it. It had been a while since I had rewatched it. Like I'd said, were parts that I had forgotten, and then it was funny. There were parts that I really remembered because just like when you were little, I don't know, it ingrains into your
Yeah.
head of like
Yeah.
your friends were talking about that part. And I was like, oh shit, I
Yep.
forgot about that. So it's kind of like nostalgia to watch this. And like I said, for the most part, I think it still holds up. And if you didn't see it then, like I think it's worth watching
Oh, yeah.
just to have
Oh,
the
100%.
twist and all of that. So
I mean, I think memes and stuff may have ruined the surprise
Probably,
at this
yeah.
point, but
It's still
that's on
good.
you. You
Yeah.
know, if you haven't
It's
seen
still
this, it's like,
good.
but yeah, it's still not to cut you off.
no,
but,
you're good.
But I mean, yeah, this is hands down. There's nothing that's gonna knock this. This is a flip on. Like I mean, not that there's nothing, but like, it's not in danger of being flipped off for something else. I don't
Yeah.
think this season, at least.
Yeah. Tim's putting in
It's
his
just too
safety net.
iconic. It's too good. Yeah, I mean, it's even now rewatching it. Yeah, it was great. It holds my attention more than
Most films.
some of these other films. You know, that are coming out that are good. It holds my attention better. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
that.
Nice.
I think everybody has to see this movie.
All right. How long till our stuff starts to diverge?
I would say probably about the 3 or 4
It's
mark.
typically episode
Like
4.
3 or 4.
That being said, let's go ahead and get spinning for this actual. So this is our season opener, but
Oh, yeah.
the first spinner episode.
Yeah. What have we got going on here?
So Tim next week has to go back at it again, which means he has to find a film he was met about in the original, watching, and see if he likes it again.
All right. It's not going to be a Shamalama Ding Dong, I don't think.
I don't think
gonna be a shame.
I mean, there's only one that I think can fit that category.
If you like this episode, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FlipperFlix. I guess we don't have to say it anymore, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm old. Follow along, see what we're doing. Interact if you'd like to.
Yeah, hit us up there. I don't know. You can also give us recommendations on other of those sites, or you can go to our website at www.flipperflix.com. Yeah, we do a couple recommendations each season, so we just love we're trying to pander right now. We're trying to get you to come to our website, give us some clicks, and recommend us a movie because, you know, we're going to have to pick those eventually, and more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
You can also, speaking of pandering, you can also rate and review us on Apple, Spotify now. Oh, we also do polls there occasionally. So that's always fun.
Answer Adam's questions.
Answer all of my questions, God damn it.
And if you're wondering, when can I catch these fools? You can catch us at 1 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. We're on Spotify, as Adam mentions, where he does his polls. We're on Apple, Google, Amazon. I believe you can subscribe on the various platforms, and that way you'll get like a push notification or it'll come right into your queue. So that way you don't ever have to look at the clock on Thursday. It'll just be there for you.
Can you be there? Bye, Vader.